Welcome back to Ben's Book Club. Today we are diving into the book, The 1% Good Club. It's an incredible system that promises to totally transform your mental health using small, daily, preventative habits, rather than those massive lifestyle overhauls we always seem to fail at. For us busy professionals who are constantly juggling a million deadlines, finding actual time for mental well-being often feels literally impossible. But today, we're going to look at a highly practical 14-minute habit system that changes that entirely. So let's talk about the number you're seeing right now. Every single day, no matter how absolutely packed your calendar is, you are gifted exactly 1,440 minutes. The author of this book, Cooper Chapman, poses a really fascinating concept using this exact figure. He basically asks us to take just 1% of it, literally just 1%. And if you do the math, that comes out to exactly 14.4 minutes. Which brings up a pretty massive challenge for us as busy professionals. Think about it. If 1% of our day is just 14.4 minutes, why is it so much easier for us to waste 2 solid hours doom scrolling on social media than to spend that tiny fraction on our own mental self-care? We always tell ourselves we just don't have the time, right? But the reality here is that it's a prioritization issue, not a time issue. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're covering 1. The 1% mindset shift. 2. Owning your mental fitness. 3. The 3 mental anchors. And 4, your 14-minute daily plan. All right, jumping right into part 1, the 1% mindset shift. Consistency over intensity. The core premise here is that small, sustainable daily deposits really do compound into massive psychological resilience. Think about this preventative maintenance contrast. Culturally, we totally accept going to the gym to stay physically healthy before getting sick. We know that works. Yet, we somehow treat mental fitness as something we only ever address after we hit the wall of burnout. Mental health isn't something you can just fix once and be done with. It's something we have to build daily. So this 1% shift is all about treating mental fitness as proactive, daily maintenance rather than a reactive scramble when you're already in a crisis. Moving on to part 2, owning your mental fitness, the personal anchor. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look at the author, Cooper Chapman. He's an ex-professional surfer, and he discovered the hard way that chasing fleeting external validation, things like contest results, praise, or performance metrics, leads directly to a really toxic victim mindset. When he experienced a crushing loss, his mental health absolutely plummeted because his entire identity was tied to the scoreboard. Making this paradigm shift means grounding yourself entirely in steady, controllable internal values. Things like your achievements are often totally out of your control, but your empathy, your gratitude, your personal responsibility, those belong entirely to you. When your anchor is internal, a bad day at work doesn't just destroy your whole sense of self-worth. Cooper learned this through the super profound metaphor of the tiger and the deer. The idea is, when a tiger slips in the mud and misses a deer, it doesn't just sit there and blame the mud. It goes home, sharpens its claws, and gets hungrier. He realized that while you absolutely cannot control external circumstances, like bad waves or bad judges for a surfer, or in our professional world, a bad economy or a difficult boss, you are 100% accountable for your own reaction. The tiger doesn't act like a victim, right? It takes ownership. Let's transition over to part 3, the 3 mental anchors, organizing your micro habits. Instead of thinking of these as a rigid, stressful chore list, look at these science-backed micro habits as a flexible menu. We've divided them into 3 totally manageable anchors. First, you have immediate circuit breakers to regulate your nervous system, like breathwork and gratitude. Then, physical practices for your body's engine, like movement and sleep hygiene. And finally, outward connections to defeat isolation, things like getting time in nature and setting firm digital boundaries. You definitely don't have to do all of these every single day. The point is, you just need to know exactly what tools are sitting there in your toolbox. Now, the real key to actually succeeding with this menu is overcoming what we call the 1% friction challenge. The secret? Simply try 1 or 2 items per day rather than stressing over some rigid perfectionist checklist. If you miss a day, you don't quit. No way. You just swap passive scrolling for an active habit the very next day. It is entirely about progress over perfection. Just keep that momentum going. Which brings us to the core of this explainer. Part 4, your 14-minute daily plan, the blueprint for busy professionals. This is exactly where the theory becomes a tangible, everyday routine for your crazy schedule. Look at how small a commitment this truly is when you break it down into these slices. You got 4 minutes of grounding, 5 minutes of reflection, and 5 minutes of a physical or mental shift. It completely removes the overwhelm, doesn't it? You literally just need these 3 tiny slices of time to make up your daily 14 minutes. And here is how actionable this becomes in reality. You breathe for 4 minutes to regulate your nervous system, maybe doing some boxed breathing. Then you spend 5 minutes writing out gratitudes to actually rewire your brain's natural negativity bias. And finally, take 5 minutes to step outside without a screen to reset your energy. Breathe, write, step outside. 14 minutes, done. It is incredibly simple yet profoundly effective for keeping your head in the game. As Cooper Chapman has personally proven over literally 1,600 consecutive days of practice, giving up just 1% of your day acts as a highly effective circuit breaker against the overwhelming stress of modern professional life. It actually stops the pressure from compounding negatively, and instead, it compounds your resilience positively. It's like a tiny daily deposit into your mental bank account. So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to really challenge your daily routine. Will you continue to claim you just don't have the time? Or will you take accountability and start your own 14-minute preventative maintenance plan right now? The minutes are absolutely there, my friends. The choice is yours. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and please subscribe so you don't miss an episode.